Yes, ma'am. Can you send us? Okay, thank you. Jill, and introduce yourself and tell us who you're with.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Jill Penn. I'm the co-president of the United Campus Workers of Georgia, which is the state's higher ed union for all employees in the USG system. And I thank you all for letting me speak today, for including public testimony. And I thank everybody in this room who's working so hard for education, for advocating for our future, for our students. They work very hard despite all the challenges that they have, and keep up the good work. I do want to give a little bit of perspective from the higher ed, and I also thank you for, you mentioned, Chairman, that you're going to have additional meetings, and so I assume you're going to, one of them will focus a bit more on higher education as well. And we do appreciate, this has been mentioned about the cost of living adjustments over the last few years. We do appreciate these recent cost of living adjustments very much. The situation would be much worse without them, for sure. And these cost of living adjustments, annual cost of living adjustments, need to continue. Let me give you an example of why. Okay, so today, an assistant professor who began working in August 1st, 2014, with a starting salary of $56,000 would now make $66,560 with the recent cost of living adjustments added in. However, if you go to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics inflation calculator, the adjusted salary for the $56,000 in 2014 should be over $74,000. So this salary is over $7,500 short of the inflation-adjusted salary for 2024. So in effect, the assistant professor who started at $56,000 in 2014 has taken a $7,500 pay cut after 10 years of service to their university. Let me give you another example. I also work for a USG institution. I'm a biology professor. And one of the things that we all would like to do is a high-impact practice, which is mentoring student research projects. It's an incredibly important project especially for first-generation college students. So many of our students have difficulty getting hired because they say they don't have the experience. Well, one very easy way to give them experience is independent research projects, and all of our faculty would love to do much more of this. We do have the opportunity, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you we get paid less than $35 a week to teach students how to do independent research. That's less than $5 a day. Starbucks drinks cost more than that, right? Why are we not spending the $10 billion surplus that we have in Georgia? We have the money. We have the need. So I ask that the people in this room do everything you can to put more of this money into education, both K through 12 and higher ed. Besides pay, we're incredibly understaffed. In my department, we've lost 25% of our faculty since 2019, and they have not been replaced, so even with increasing enrollment at my college. The result of that is impossible, unsustainable workloads. We need to hire more faculty and staff. That is what will counter the burnout, which is the #1 reason people are leaving. We are understaffed. We are overworked. We need more money to hire more people, both teaching staff and the auxiliary staff, like mental health professionals. You may have seen the study from Matthew Bodie, who leads the American Association of University Professors, AAUP. The majority of Georgia faculty would not recommend working in Georgia to their colleagues. More than 25% applied for a job in another state, and they plan to apply for a job in another state this year. 30% said they don't plan to remain in higher ed long term. The top issue in higher ed is salary. Earlier, a very important issue was brought up, teacher training. So that's also at the higher ed level. USG plans to cut teacher ed programs at many of our rural colleges. That's a conversation you need to have with Chancellor Perdue. Why do they want to do that? Especially when there is a need for more teachers in Georgia, in rural areas. We cannot be cutting our teacher education programs. I have probably a lot more I could talk about, but I'll stop there. Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
listening.
We're going to allow Senator Burns to ask a question, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate your input. Help me understand again your affiliation.
Well, I teach biology in the USG system, and I'm also the co-president of the United Campus Workers of Georgia.
United Campus
Workers?
Workers of Georgia.
Yes.
Georgia's a right-to-work state, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And how many members does your organization represent?
Well, we have 1,000 members.
1,000 dues-paying members?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, thank you. I spent 30 years in the University System of Georgia. I was a tenured faculty member, I was a dean, and I was a president. And I don't deny any of the allegations that you suggest, but the reality is the regents control the University System of Georgia, not the legislature. Now, we provide resources to them, and I would recommend that you have that conversation with the chancellor and the regents.
Can you help facilitate that? Because I've tried.
I would suggest that you get on their agenda and have a conversation. Thank you.
Well, you do control the funding.
Yeah.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah. Thank y'all. It's been a great meeting, and it's been ideal, and I want to thank the people very personally. They know who they are that helped us put this together. So thank you, and thank you. And y'all have a great day. Look forward to the next meeting. Thank you.
We are adjourned.